What up? What up? What up, everybody? This is Whatever the Fuck I Want podcast, and I'm your host, D'Angelo. Today, I'm gonna do my recap of the Chicago Bears draft. I want everybody to know these are just my opinions, and I just wanted to get them out there to the public. And we're gonna start off with, you know, the number one overall pick, Caleb Williams, the 6'1", 214-pound QB out of USC. He was the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner. There was no secret that he was going to be the number one pick in the draft. The Bears were put in a really, really different, strange predicament by already having Justin Fields at the QB position, and they had a choice to make whether would they move on from Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams or trade the number one overall pick and keep Justin Fields. So they decided to go with Caleb Williams. I guess they thought that he was the, better overall prospect. And they surrounded him with weapons. They surrounded him with Keenan Allen from the Chargers, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame level wide receiver, technician when it comes to precise route running. And they got DeAndre Swift, I believe, DeAndre Swift from the Philadelphia Eagles to be the starting running back. So Caleb Williams is coming in with some solid weapons at his disposal. So, I mean, we all knew he's the number one pick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I would give the Bears A plus 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 for Caleb. I kind of like his confidence. Now it's players that come along and they have that confidence, but for some reason, I believe Caleb. I believe his confidence. I believe he believes that he's the best and he wants to continue down that path of greatness. From every interview that I've seen, he's been excellent with the media. Um, he's comfortable in his own skin. I personally don't know about the painting of the fingernails and all that stuff. It's a little different and moist for me. But overall, I think it was a great pick. Let's move on. The Bears also that the number one pick, Caleb Williams, was the pick that they got from the Carolina Panthers, which they fleeced Carolina last year. That's one of the biggest fleeces. Oh, and also I want to add to Caleb Williams being drafted. No number one overall pick has ever come into a situation that's like this one. Most number one overall picks they go to a bullshit crappy team, but Caleb got drafted to kind of like a middle of the pack team. I think the Bears won 7-8 games, something like that. But he comes into a situation of coming to a greatly improved middle of the pack team. So he's in a unique position as well. Now the Bears also had the number 9 pick in the first round, which was their own pick. Excuse that. The Bears had the number 9 pick in the draft, which was their own pick, and that was they went wide receiver, Rome or Duzier. Now, Duzier has a combination of size, speed. He has great hands, with that 6'3" frame, and I also seen some highlights where he was returning kicks. You know, he was doing a real good job at returning kicks too. But I just can't see him returning kicks in the pro level, being that he's such an important piece of the franchise. Aduzier had 1,640 receiving yards in 2023. He's someone that can really go get it. I mean, he even runs up the middle. He uses his size, man. Like I won't even compare him to anyone else because I that's kind of what I don't like to do with the rookies coming in. I don't like to compare them to anyone else. I like to just sit back and watch and see or how they develop their skill set and become their own, their own thing. I don't want to compare them to anybody. But Aduzier, he blew the socks off everybody with his workout, and he was the third ranked wide receiver in this draft, and, and he also comes in a unique position where he gets to come in and play while also learning behind one of the best receivers in football. Well, actually, two of the best receivers in football with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. And I don't know if Keenan Allen is going to be around for a long period of time. I mean, I think he's 33 or something like that, and he's due for a contract after this season. So I don't know if he's in the long-term plans of the Bears, but it's a hell of a way to get these two rookies off the ground and running with Caleb Williams and Rome Aduzier. So he's coming into a great situation, and he can also learn a few things from DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a smaller, physical wide receiver. You know, he could help Rome with those things, position and stuff like that. But all signs are pointing north for the Bears and their offense. So let's move on to the Bears had the third pick, the third round pick, the 11th pick in the third round, and they chose to go with the hometown kid. He's right here from Hinsdale, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago, like literally maybe mm, 10, 12 miles outside of Chicago, if I had to guess. And Karan, I'm not going to even pronounce his last name. Oh, yeah, I will try. Amagaji. I'm sure that's wrong, but he went to Ivy League school he went to Yale. He's 6'3", 323 pounds. And from what I gather, I never saw him play. To be honest with you, I don't watch Yale football or anything like that. I think this pick was a project, because he kind of has the prototype 6'5", 323 body. He's big, he's athletic, and from what everything I'm hearing is that he would have went higher in the draft if he didn't have an injury. If I'm not mistaken, he played only maybe 3-4 games four or five games his senior year at Yale. And quick story, he went out and he ran into Chicago Bears coach Eberflus at a golf outing the past summer, and he told Coach Eberflus that he was going to be a Chicago Bear, and it came to fruition. Like if you check his Twitter feed, he was always saying "bear down" and all that. He did have one tweet that said the entire Bears offensive line should be cut, but hey, can you really blame him for that? They were pretty damn trash, man. But yeah, this is a pick that he's a guy that could potentially play tackle, guard. I don't think he can play center, but tackle and guard. So, teams always are looking for a swing lineman that can be plugged in at multiple positions. And I think that that's this guy. I don't think that he'll be a starter coming right out of the gate. He'll have to, work his way in, and eventually he may even unseat left tackle Braxton Jones. But right now, Braxton Jones is clearly penciled in at the left tackle spot, and then you have last year's first round pick Darnell Wright that's penciled in at the right tackle spot. So hopefully he can get some reps. Hopefully he can get some reps in, just swinging on the offensive line. Now, the shocker pick, Tory Taylor, the punter from Iowa. He's 6'4", 223 pounds. And he was born in Australia. So I think he played rugby, soccer, all those things. And he's considered a generational talent, um, a generational punter. I mean, he led the college football in punting average. I think he averaged like 48 yards per punt or something like that. And his leg, he has a rocket leg, and he's excellent with placing the field position, placing the punts where he wants to place those punts. And that's key. Some people, they were excited. They agree with this pick. Like, I've been on record and saying, like, hey, I wanted them to use it somewhere else and add some depth somewhere else. But I kind of understand it, because there are three phases of the game. It's offense, defense, and special teams. And sometimes we overlook the importance of special teams. So last year we had Trent Gill, who I think was a horrible, horrible, horrible punter. Horrible. But Tory Taylor, if he works out, this could be key. And Caleb, when Tory Taylor got drafted, they say Caleb sent him a text message and told him, "Hey, you won't be punting much here." That's kind of like why I'm trying to get on board with the Caleb Williams thing. I'm a Justin Fields guy. I feel like they let Justin Fields down. They didn't um, surround him with the pieces that he needs to be successful. That's my take on it. But I'm a front of the jersey guy. Is go Bears. I try my best to root for the team and not a specific player. Sometimes it get hard, but I'm a front of the jersey guy, and I'm sticking with it. Bear down, go Bears. Now the Bears, that was it. The Bears didn't have another draft pick, but then they made a trade, and to jump back up into the fifth round of the draft, they traded a 2024 pick next year for the number 9 pick in the fifth round of this year, which they used to take Austin Booker. Now, Austin Booker, he's a 6'5", 240-pound edge rusher. Uh, he started his career somewhere else. Where did he start it at? Let me see if I can find it. Whatever. I don't know, but he started his career somewhere else. And I think he's a little small. 240 pounds is small. in weight for an edge rusher. He looked at pretty slim. I'm hoping that he can bulk up a little bit and plug in on that other side, on the opposite side of Montez Sweat. But he can use his combination of speed and getting to the quarterback. I think he had 8 sacks on the season. They had him ranked 11th at his position of defensive end. He graded out a 75 out of 100 in scoring by ESPN. He's another kid that I'm not really familiar with, but I looked at his highlights, and the highlights were impressive. But again, everybody's highlights is impressive. I got a highlight tape floating around somewhere, I'm sure. You know, so but they did cover a need. The Bears desperately needed an edge rusher. Now, will he come in and start day one? I don't know, because the Bears still have 22.8 million left in cap space to go out and sign an edge rusher. We all know how things go. We get salary cap cuts from other teams, and who knows who could end up being cut, and the Bears could pick them up, or do something similar to what they did last year with Montez Sweat. With the they traded a pick to Washington to get Montez Sweat, who came in and did work. He went to the Pro Bowl. So I'm gonna go back over and I'm gonna give each pick my individual grade. And we're gonna start with Caleb. Of course, you know what I'm saying. We can't do nothing but give that a plus plus plus. Rome Aduzier, we're gonna give that a plus plus. Feels a need. This may put the Chicago Bears as the best receiving core in football. The best receiving core in football, and that's something that nobody in Chicago could ever say. Now, the best receiving core in football. Wow. Then we got the O lineman, the local kid, Karan, Hinsdale, Illinois, who they're looking for to be a swing O lineman. And you can never go wrong with quality depth in the trenches. So I'll give this pick a B. The next pick, you got Tory Taylor. Again, like, I felt that they should have I initially felt that they should have added some depth at some position. I'm not totally in love with drafting a kicker this high. I traditionally feel like you can get that off the scrap heap. I don't even believe in drafting a kicker or a punter at all, but it happens every now and then. Chicago Bears have a history of drafting punters high. I remember, what was it, 1991? They used the third round pick on Chris Gardocki. Chris Gardocki had a solid career in the NFL, but not so much with the Bears. And then, like, 94, 95, we drafted Todd Sauerbrunn. Like, I remember when the kid drove into camp, he had plates that said hang time, and he was supposed to have been a generational punter, and he didn't do so well with the Bears, but he ended up going to the Carolina Panthers and making some all pro and Pro Bowls. He was a very, very good punter for a long time in the NFL. So I don't know. I just believe, man, if you're gonna use a pick to draft a punter like that, man, you got to stick with him. Don't give up on him in 2 years and you invested this high ass draft pick on him. But So I'm gonna go out on the limb and give it a B because this is a situation where I can see myself being wrong. It does make a little bit of sense, but then again, not so much. So I'll give him a B for that. Austin Booker from Kansas feels a need. Speed, edge, rusher. That's what the Bears were lacking. They were lacking someone on the other side of Montez Sweat, putting pressure on that quarterback. I think the Bears are like have the second fewest sacks in the NFL in the last 5 years. You have to put pressure on the quarterback to be effective in this league. So I'll give this pick a B. Now overall, I'm gonna get the Bears an A B because just simple for this draft because they put themselves in position to be a team that's on the up and coming list. I'm looking for the Bears to compete for the division immediately. I know some people um, saying, "Oh, well, this the Bears may not be ready to compete." I see it the other way. I think I think Detroit peaked last year. The Detroit Lions they peaked last year. They had a solid defense. They got Jared Goff and the um, the receiver St. Brown. They just gave him a boatload of money too, you know. But who I don't think it gonna live up to the hype and follow up what they did last year. I don't think the Green Bay Packers. I don't know why. This is just me. I'm a little biased. I hate the Packers. I hate the Packers. I don't think that they're gonna keep on with the ascending curve. I don't believe in Jordan Love. He had a pretty decent year last year. Well, we'll see if he falls into that sophomore slump. I know this is not his second year in the league, but this will be his second year in the starter as a starter. He may fall into that sophomore slump. I just think that the Bears really can contend for the division now, but off defense alone. And if the offense could make a quarter of a level of improvement off of what they did last year, the Bears could win 10, 11 games, 10, 11 games. They won 7, 8 last year with no offense outside of Justin Fields rushing and DJ Moore. Well, you could say Cole Kmet too, but you add on what they have now, you would think that they could add three to 4 wins on the season. But yeah, man, that concludes my Chicago Bears 2024 draft recap, man. And I'm gonna get back with me Tuesday, Talk Shit Tuesday. That's where we go live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, just to talk some shit. Who knows what we're gonna come up with? But that's whatever the fuck I want. Podcast, D'Angelo signing off. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like, share, subscribe, man. Holla at y'all in a minute.